41.
Where'd you do your basic training?
Fort Sill, Oklahoma. And we had horses by the acres. You saw these military funerals where they pull the body on the, what they call a caisson?
Yeah.
Well, you know what a caisson is? It's a trailer-like thing with cubby holes in it that shove the ammunition into the gun.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
That's what a caisson is. I don't know how many shells it'll hold. Quite a few. See, them big gun things are about that long, maybe longer. I don't know.
My uncle Chuck Donahoe was, where was he? Leyte.
Oh yeah, Paul was in Leyte Gulf in the Pacific.
Yeah.
In the Navy.
Chuck was a Marine.
Okay.
And he would be quick to remind you of that.
Yes, the Marines are.
Yeah.
Yes. The few, the proud. Is that the?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
I got drafted for $21 a month. That's what we got. Went in. And then I stayed at Fort Sill, took my basic training at Fort Sill. And then we got sent to Southern California. And I mean, you could step one foot and take Mexico and the other foot United States.
Oh boy.
Down on the very tip end of California.
Mm-hmm.
And we had horses there by the acres too.
He said we did something at the Hearst Ranch. You know, Randolph Hearst, the publisher. Yeah, they did something with the horses there.
Well, the Army had a record of all the horses. They had it tattooed on their neck, their number, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that was old, I don't know how old they had to be, they shot them. And they had a bulldozer-like thing, not like we got today, but they had a thing that shove out a big hole, and they pushed them dead horses in there, and then shoveled dirt over them. And
how did they get the horses used to the boom?
Huh?
How did they get the horses used to all the noise?
They didn't have any choice. The horses didn't. But whenever we shot the guns, they unhooked the horses and took them off to one side.
Oh, okay.
Left the cannoneer to hold two horses, and the rest of us had to go shoot the guns. We didn't do much fighting. Didn't do any fighting hardly, only when we got to Italy. We was just on the line up there 10 days, and the Germans, if you remember your World War II, they quit in Italy first. And we were right up in the middle of them. In fact, I've got a picture of me on top of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It's nothing but they had a big bell. I'd like to know how in the dickens they got that bell up there. And no telling how many centuries old is that darn thing.
My dad went to North Africa, and into Sicily and Italy and France.
We was in Italy, or in the Aleutian Islands, not doing anything. The Japs were on a couple of islands down there, but they left, and they had to fight on that too. But they brought the guys that done the fighting. They left us alone up on the island of Umnak. We were the next island up. They left us alone, and the ones that took that too come from the States. And they thought that our generals, they thought they were smart enough to know everything. They figured it's 2 or 3 days and they'd wipe them out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think it turned out to be 2 or 3 weeks, and the weather up there is terrible. Particularly in the winter. Well, in the winter, some days, we'd have some pretty days.
You said you spent 22 months, 2 winters up there.
I spent 2 winters up there, and the first winter we didn't have anything to live in on this perennial tents, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the wind would blow one way one day, and it'd turn around and blow the way the other way. Had the Bering Sea on one side and the Pacific Ocean on the other. And then darn tents would blow down, and the snow would be coming straight in. It didn't come like this, come right straight in, with the wind behind it. It's terrible. But the second winter up there, we had Quonset huts, and we lived pretty good. And it was classified as a cold climate. And our mess sergeant could draw a ration and a half for every man he had. So that gave him pretty good grub. We ate good up there after they got it going. Mm-hmm. He was a mean old son of a gun, but.
Do you remember where you were when they dropped the bomb on Japan?
I was home on furlough. I'd been to Italy. You heard of the point system?
Yeah.
He took 85 points to be discharged, and guys that had 80 points or more, it took them out of our outfit and left them in Italy. And I had 77 points. So me and the rest of them that had less than 80 points got priority on boat to come back to the States. And we got our furloughs from the nearest camp from home. I took mine out of Jefferson Barracks, Missouri. We got 30 days. And we were supposed to regroup at Camp Carson, Colorado. And while I was home on that 30-day furlough, they dropped the bomb, and the war was over. We never did group back at Camp Carson, Colorado.
So that was August of 45, right?
And when my furlough was up, I went back to Jefferson Barracks, Missouri, and 3 days later, I was home a civilian.
Wow.
I got out that quick.
And the guys that are stuck over in Italy with their 80 points.
The guys that had 80 points and more were still over in Italy waiting on a ride home.
Well, you did good on that.
Did you know Herbie Morgan?
No.
He lived over there on the County Farm Road close to me. But he'd been in France, and he saw a lot of bad fighting. And we corresponded with each other. Me and him were buddies in high school. And we corresponded with each other, and he wrote me a letter, said, "I'll meet you at the train when you come home." And heck far, he's still over in France whenever I was home discharged.
We had a French boy spend the summer with us one year, exchange student, and he had some pictures of the old churches over there, and beautiful old churches. And
oh yeah,
I showed the pictures to Dad. I said, "You remember seeing anything like this?" And he said, "They didn't look that way when we got there."
Oh yeah.
He said they didn't have any steeples left in them when we got there.
Well, that leaning tower
blows the steeples out for
yeah.
snipers.
You know what that leaning tower actually is? It's a bell tower for a great big nice cathedral like you're talking about. That's what it.
I didn't realize that.
Everybody's Catholic over there.
Yeah.
And the great big church. I wasn't in the church, but I was in the. But the bell tower set off to one side, and you could get it over the centuries. It's centuries old. That it had a stairway like that going around to the top, and it's the stone is made out of stone, and then you saw where you step and where the steps were bore down from people walking up around that thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it is. I think they charged to get up there now, or did.
So you were in the Aleutians on D-Day, right?
No, not on D-Day. I was home on furlough again on D-Day.
Uh-huh.
We'd been up the Aleutians 22 months, and we come back from the Aleutian Islands, and we got a 30-day furlough when we come back, and that happened to be in June the 6th. I think, when the
That was D-Day, yeah.
That's
44.
D-Day.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was home on furlough from the Aleutian Islands. And so that all that fighting going on over there, and me home. I just fresh married. They got married and they got back. Did you know Stanley